What's up, everybody? I'm Kyle Carlson, and this is the Rollback BMX Podcast, the number one BMX podcast in the universe, according to me. So I was in China for 2 weeks, then I flew to my parents' house in Las Vegas to do an early Thanksgiving for a couple days, then I flew to Tokyo for a little over a week. From Tokyo, I flew out to North Carolina for the NC BMX Series UCI event, and last night I flew back to my parents' house in Las Vegas where my car is so I can get my life together and drive back home to San Diego. All the traveling's really kicking my ass. I am beat. I decided to get sick, and to top it off, the airline lost my checked bag last night, and that's where all my podcasting gear is. So I'm coming at you a little bit late today, but it certainly seems like all this craziness is behind me. When I was in North Carolina, I had the chance to sit down and talk with Justin Dowell. If you don't know who Justin Dowell is yet, it's about time you get familiar. Justin is just 18 years old. He's one of the fastest progressing riders in the game, and just a couple weeks ago, he was crowned the world champion at the UCI BMX Urban World Championships, lots of words, finals in China. Justin is pretty opinionated and outspoken, and that's a welcome change in a world of people that are afraid to speak their mind. So sit back, listen up, prepare to learn a whole lot of important stuff. This is the Rollback BMX Podcast with Justin Dowell. The world champion, Justin Dowell.
Hello, Mr. Kyle.
Why are you a world champion?
I won the UCI Urban BMX Freestyle World Championship in Chengdu a couple weeks ago.
Should you have won, or were you judged high?
Maybe a little bit of both.
How high was your score above second place? Was it close or no? I should know this.
I don't think it was close.
Okay, I think you were above by quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I had a 92.2 and Kenneth was in second. Man, maybe in the 80s. I don't even think no one broke the 90s.
Other than you?
Yeah.
Damn. So you didn't just win. You butt-fucked the competition.
Yes, I did indeed butt-fuck it. But the numbers don't mean anything. They're just placeholders. So I guess they thought my score was a 92, and then they would put people in between other people or below me or above me.
See, that's what I would say also if I didn't want to be accountable for my score. So what, you're 18 years old?
Yes.
When did you turn 18?
January.
So you're coming up on 19?
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, no. I can't use the 18 card anymore.
So you're almost 19. This was your 18th year in life, and you won the world championship, whereas just the previous year, your 17th year in life, you weren't even a regular making finals, were you?
No, the first time I ever made finals at a FEES or World UCI event was the World Championship the year before. I got 8th.
And I remember you making that final and thinking it was a fluke. I'm like, everybody must have blown it because Justin's just a kid who doesn't know what he's doing out there.
Yeah,
and you rode really well.
I appreciate it, but I have been competing a long time, but not at near anything this level. I grew up riding, novice class and experts class. I just kept getting better and better and better, but to get a finals at the highest competition in the world was just unbelievable.
So at the time, was making the final a big victory for you? Like you were really content with that?
As soon as I made finals, I was just like, it's like, whatever, I'm just going to kind of send it now because, the worst I could get is 12th, and that's still to me a victory.
Incredibly good, yeah. And did you have any inkling in your brain that you could get it together and win that same event the next year?
No idea. I just kind of went back home. At the time was North Carolina. I was riding Daniel Dare Skate Park regularly, and I was happy with where I was, but I still wanted to achieve more. So I kind of just restarted. I rethought what I was doing. I bought a new bike. I bought all new clothes. It might sound like corny, but
you bought new clothes too.
Yeah, in order to ride good, you have to feel good, and so I guess I self-flaunted and just bought some stuff. I wanted to look better. I wanted to represent myself better, and I just focused on riding after that.
What made you make that decision? Was it because you had a taste of what you wanted to achieve, or was there something about it? Or did the chick tell you look like shit?
After I got 8th, I realized that, so 2016, when it goes back to 2016, I was getting in the 20s. So if I can go from the 20s to an 8th in 1 year, imagine what I could do from an 8th in 1 more year.
I remember in 2016, I think I was talking to you about going to a feast in France or something, and I didn't want to say it, but I was like, dude, you have no business going. you're not going to do good. You're wasting your
Yeah.
time. You're wasting your money. I know you don't have money. Like, don't fucking go. Like, save that money and just ride or whatever. And I was dead goddamn wrong. Apparently this worked, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking
Well,
about.
I didn't go to France in 2016.
But you got out on the road and competed. You rode
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah. Well, those were fairly close. Those are actually the first time I've ever been on an airplane was to Denver and to Canada.
That's crazy.
Edmonton. So all the contests I did growing up were East Coast things. I never even been to the West Coast. I still even haven't never been to California.
In your whole life.
Never.
You should come hang out.
I want to.
You're allowed to. You can
Am
stay
I?
at my house. We live on the beach. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Come party, especially in the off season. We got downtime. Let's hang out.
Let's do it.
We'll make somebody else pay for it.
That sounds great.
The way we do things around here. So you buy new clothes, you buy a new bike, and did this kind of happen immediately after you kind of reinvent yourself? You automatically started riding better? Or was this kind of...
Yeah, I always took advice from others like about bike parts, and I mean, I had to say shout out to Daniel Dares, who's actually around right now, and he helped me a lot out with. He's the one who told me that you can't ride good unless you feel good, and he told me I look like shit. He wasn't the girl who told me I look like shit, but he's the one who told me I look like shit.
He's kind of feminine.
Yeah, I could say. Well, he's married now, so
True. I guess I never really put that together that you were dressing differently, but when you say it and I think back, I guess so.
I mean, like, I had worn out shoes, worn out pants, worn out shirts. I mean, just...
I thought you were just poor.
If you just... if there's other distractions other than riding, then you're not going to ride well.
But was that shit distracting you? Like, it bothered you that you were wearing bad shoes and pants and stuff?
Not at the time, but now I feel way better.
Yeah. It's like when the new iPhone comes out and they're like, the screen's a much higher quality, and you're like, this screen's fine. Then you get it and look back at the old screen and you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell was I doing?
So yeah, I just kind of reinvented myself, put my mind only on training. And I mean, this year went incredibly well.
You know, one thing I think is really cool about the fact that you did so well. You had a really good year, and that's just a hell of a way to cap it off. But I think it's a prime example of getting out there and doing the work and roughing it and making shit happen. You did a lot of shit this year that no one was spoon feeding you, and a lot of these fucking new kids go and don't sleep on floors and don't know what it's, you know what I mean? Like, I just aren't roughing it. They're just kind of handed everything. And I know this past year that you were pretty much traveling and riding everywhere, kind of living out of Europe and whatnot. Like, you had to go do all that on your own.
Yeah, I mean, BMX to me has always been my life, and I have been competing since like I was 6, like I said, so it's in my blood to want to better myself, and you can't ride better unless you want to be better yourself. I mean, other people can tell you, hey, get better, but unless you want to be better yourself, you won't. And so I made the commitment to move into Europe full time, basically. And
so you lived in Estonia for a while and were riding, what's that park called?
Spot of Talon.
Spot, that's a sick park. And then where else were you kind of hanging out and riding a lot?
So I was in Estonia in between contests, and then
now throw it back a little bit. Were you staying in Europe just because it was cheaper and you didn't have to fly home between events?
Yeah.
Or was it a conscious decision because you wanted to ride the spots there more than the spots at home you had access to?
It's all like a good mixture of all that. I was kind of tired of the parks in the U.S. It's just the same thing over and over. I mean, the U.S. has incredible parks, don't get me wrong, but I think Europe is the spot to be if you really want to progress at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
So in Estonia, I was staying with a friend, and no rent is cool. So
That is cool.
I could stay there and just focus on riding and put my money towards traveling. So, and it's also way cheaper. So say you're going I went from Estonia to, I don't know, just Barcelona, back to Estonia, to England, to Estonia. Those inter-European flights are only a few $100s at most. But if I fly home in between each time,
it's $1,000.
I'm spending thousands.
Yeah.
So at first, I wasn't even planning on staying in Europe the whole time. But as I kept looking at how much more money I was saving, I just like, screw it. I'm just going to stay here the whole time.
So you stayed in Estonia for a while.
Yeah.
And then where else did you stay?
I stayed with some good friends in England. I stayed in Germany a lot.
So were you staying in each of these places for a substantial amount of time? Like you'd stay in England for a few weeks or
a few
whatever?
weeks at a time, but in the summertime, there's a contest every weekend. So
True.
Most of the time I was staying in the hotels that the contest would provide.
So you're just kind of roughing it, kind of gypsy caravan shit.
Yeah.
If the contest will book you a hotel, you'll go, and that's your home.
If it's a back-to-back contest, like France, Montpellier, and then Butcher Jam in Germany were back-to-back. So I just went from France right to Germany, right to another contest. It's like sometimes you don't even have time to explore the city.
Just because you're on to the next event. Yeah. Did you enjoy that?
I loved it. And
that can get hectic, man. I've been on the road for 3 weeks right now, essentially, and like I'm fucking burned. Mm-hmm. Like, did you ever get burned, or were you good?
At the time, I was burned, and sometimes I did want to just fly home and just see my family and relax. But I knew that this was something that I wanted to do. It's just actually doing it was the hard part.
Yeah.
And now that I'm home and I've been relaxing the last couple of weeks, I was like, damn, I wish I would have enjoyed it a little bit more instead of always being stressed out and tired, because it was people would die for this life I had this year and the opportunity to travel, and I'm thankful for it, really.
Yeah.
But at the time, of course, I was just like, oh, fuck, I want to go home.
But it did wonders for your riding, to where it was incredibly effective as well. It wasn't just, I'm broke, so this is what I have to do. It was like kind of like if you're a fighter, you go into a training camp and you kind of almost suffer for the 8 weeks up before your fight, and you go and you train your ass off, and you're beat, but you get in like tip-top fighting shape, I kind of feel like that's what you were doing, where a lot of guys were just at home in their comfort zone. You were out kicking ass, learning new tricks, riding crazy spots, riding with different riders, getting different looks.
Absolutely. I think the most important thing about training is not training at the same place, because you get used to those ramps. Like you only know how to ride those ramps. And since I ride a different skate park every week, when I go to Fees and it's a different Fees always has the same ramps, but it's not in the same
different setup.
Yeah. So I got really good at learning how to ride a different setup quickly. And I also changed how I trained. I didn't go to the skate park and spend 9 hours there just like goofing off and whatever. I would go to the skate park maybe 3 hours a day.
Just go hard?
Go really hard, because at Fees and other events, you only have an hour and a half of practice, and you have to learn the course and do your tricks within 1.5 hours. I got good at that.
With a bunch of people on the course.
With human obstacles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very important to ride different stuff.
So, what were some of the parks you were riding? So, I know you were riding Spot of Talon, then you were riding Corby in England, correct?
Spot of Talon, Corby, Mellow Park in Berlin, Germany. I mean, the contests have amazing parks too to even train on. Like, to me, like riding the Fees and riding, I even rode a really sick mini ramp contest in the Netherlands, and that's good mini ramp practice.
Was that the one in Eindhoven?
Yeah.
Nice. I went to that last year.
I went to the skate park that Pannonian Challenge is at in Croatia. I'm not sure what the real name of it is.
Osijek? I can't remember.
That's the city, but yeah.
I don't know. I think it's the skate park in the city. But, so you think all that accumulated to the good year? You think that was kind of what put it all together?
Yeah, just staying mentally strong and riding different stuff.
So did you go into that World Championship thinking it was yours to win, or did this just kind of work itself out? Throughout the whole year was a learning process. Like, sometimes I would screw up and I'd go home and be like, I don't know what the hell I just did, and I'm still young, so it's still a lot to learn, but I knew I could do it, and I wanted to win both weeks, but first week didn't go as planned. And you blew it.
I blew it hard. I just had a rough week, like, emotionally. I think it's just because it was the end of the year, and I was just worn out, and, like, final time seeing my friends for the year. I wanted to see everyone, and it was just a rough week. And then the second week, I told all my friends, like, all right, I'm going to clear my head. I'm going to make it up to you guys for, I feel like I let a lot of people down. Even if I didn't, I still had that in my head, and I let myself down. So the second week, I just focused, and I hung out with friends who made me happy. We bought scooters in China, and we rode the scooters around. Shout out to Scoot Gang. And having a good time before the event helps during the event. If you just have a shitty time in the country that you're in, you're going to ride horrible at the event, I think. So I had a good time the second week I was in China, and it showed in my riding, and everything just worked out. And I knew I could do it, but to actually do it was I couldn't believe it.
I know you've always believed in yourself and worked hard to do this, but did you expect such a big win to come so soon, or did you think it was a bit further out?
I was reaching towards the podium. I thought I could make podium. If I thought I could make podium, but to win was really hard. I mean, there's hella riders out there and
Hella.
And they're so talented, and I believed in myself, but I was speechless. It's insane to me.
What was that feeling when you saw Nick Bruce blow it? The last guy to drop in, the one guy that can knock you off the top, and he blows it.
Well, even the last heat, if they all beat me, I wouldn't have made podium.
Yeah.
But at one point, I knew I was guaranteed third or second or first. So as soon as I made podium, like all this emotion started flushing over me. I'm like biting my nails. Like I stood up and watched the final people go. It was down to their final runs. And I think all of them didn't pass me. And then it's Nick Bruce's turn. The guy who's
supposed to win the contest.
Nick's
supposed to win that contest.
He literally
qualified first. He comes off this injury. He's Mr. Health and Fitness. Nick's supposed to win that contest.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think Nick Bruce is the best rider on the planet. And so for him to be the final one to go.
There's no shame in losing to Nick Bruce.
Yeah. I mean, and Nick Bruce is such a great guy. And I beat him at NAS earlier in the year, and instead of being like, oh, fuck, he came up to me first and congratulated me. Like, if I lost to Nick, I would do the same thing to him that he did to me.
Yeah.
But when he slid out on the flare, and that secured my win, I just started running around, and people were chasing me and hugging me, and Nick Bruce called his run and just came over and congratulated me, and it was just like, since that happened, it was pure chaos. Like, I mean, people were happy and I was happy, and it was just a big blur of just hugging people. It's just awesome.
Did you talk to your parents right away? I know your parents were always very supportive of your riding.
Yeah, they called me. They called me as I was on the podium.
Oh,
like
no
my
way.
phone started
That's
buzzing.
Funny.
And like,
so you hadn't talked to him. You didn't talk to him before the contest. And the podium.
No, because everybody started swarming me like, Justin, do an interview with me.
Was
do
quick
an interview
too.
with me.
Yeah.
Come to the podium. Come do your drug test or whatever. Come do this. Come do this. And I didn't get to call them until I got to the hotel. But I think they knew I was busy. But they called me anyways. As I was on the podium, I had to ignore it.
They're supposed to. Yeah, they're excited.
It was an amazing time.
What did they say about all that?
They always believed in me, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. They
sacrificed a lot for you. I know they were spending a lot of money and stuff while you were just being a piece of shit, not paying for anything. And
I was 6, dude. When I was
you were a real asshole 6-year-old.
Yeah, all the way up until 18. And still today. But yeah, they're the ones who, man, like, don't want to say they like forced me to ride, but they dedicated so much. I almost felt like I had to perform well at some of these competitions, and I grew up doing every single competition.
Were you winning a lot of the local contests when you were growing up?
Yeah, my first competition.
You grew up in Virginia Beach?
Yeah.
Your whole life you lived in Virginia Beach up until okay.
The first contest I ever did was a Gatorade Free Flow at JC Park when I was 6.
Oh, wow.
And, man, shout out to that series. That series was amazing. I wish it could still be around. But I won that, and then I went to the one at the Flow, which was a 14-hour drive. And I won that one. I won that one 3 years in a row.
While when you were 6 years old?
Yeah, first competition 6.
What kind of tricks could you do when you were 6 years old?
I could do a no-foot cam flyout.
When you were 6?
Yeah.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah, I can't even do that now.
What size bike were you on?
16-inch. I actually had the S&M Cobra, which was 1 of 100. It was a limited make, and at the time,
like a high-end, high-quality 16-inch.
The highest quality 16-inch you could buy. And since I started doing well at competitions, I think when I turned 7, so 1 year, I believe I was the first person ever to have profile hubs laced into a 16-inch wheel, because I had called staff. My parents called Staff BMX and asked if it could be done. Staff BMX was the bike shop at the Incline Club at the time. And they said that it's not even possible because no one ever did that.
Yeah.
Profiles into a 16-inch. I mean, it was unheard of. And
those hubs are damn near the size of the rim.
Yeah. And that's like why I'm still a profile supporter today. And yeah, man.
So your parents were happy.
Yeah. And
your mom's first name is Star.
Star and Cigarettes Greg.
Cigarettes Greg is dad. Star is mom. How? What kind of name is Star?
It's her middle name.
Oh, is it?
First name is Julie.
Just doesn't like Julie?
Guess not. I mean, I'd rock with Star too. That shit's sick as hell.
I always think of Star, with no disrespect to your beautiful mother. I'm like, that's a stripper's name. And then your dad, Cigarettes Greg, that's just a championship name, you know?
Yeah, they're a trophy couple for sure.
Virginia Beach's finest. So what do you think? It's okay. So you go in, you win, you kick ass, you get this world championship. What are you thinking going into next year? So are you going to try to kind of relive this European constant riding adventure, or are you trying to settle down? And you think can you get the same results if you're living a different life?
I think I got the right formula now, so I don't need to go on this European extravaganza again.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And if, like last year, this year, 2018, I didn't plan on doing this. It just happened after I see how much better I'm riding and how much money I'm saving. So who knows? I might do it again. There's a lot of factors that pan into it, like which contests or which dates and stuff like that, because it worked out so perfectly this year. There was a different contest every single weekend.
Europe's like that, man. Europe's incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome.
United States is supposed to be the BMX mecca, but just like being in Europe, and there's something every weekend.
There's something about Europe that's addicting.
Yeah.
Like when I'm there, I'm like, damn, I miss Chipotle, I miss Walmart.
They got Chipotle in England.
Yeah, but England to me is like the most American-ish European country, so it doesn't count. But I just love everything about Europe, like the culture and the food and the chick to man ratio.
So if I know where you live in Virginia Beach, you don't really have a spot to ride to progress the way you ride and progress. So if you're staying in the States more, you got to make some moves. So what's it going to be? Is it going to be this crazy nomad on the road thing? Or are you going to try to settle at Woodward or something? Or what's on your brain as far as...
Of course, I'm going to head back to DDAC more often because that's kind of the park that started this.
How far is that from you in Virginia Beach?
3 hours.
Okay.
3.5 if you're speeding.
So it's 3 hours regular and 3.5 if you're speeding?
No, 3 hours if you're speeding.
3.5 regular.
3.5 is still speeding, but not as hard.
So you're gonna ride there, and I mean
Woodward.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem with Woodward is that in the wintertime it's covered in snow, and I don't have a 4-wheel drive car, so driving up there in the BMW won't work. I'll probably pass away. And then there's no one there to ride with other than Ricky Veronic and a few of the Lost Boys.
Yeah, but those guys go hard.
Yeah, Ricky's a hell of a rider, but
yes, he's incredible.
They since they live there, they're not like so stoked to ride as I am.
That makes sense.
Sometimes they don't even ride.
None of those guys are really approaching BMX the same way you are, as far as I want to get better, I want to win shit. Those guys are all killing it.
Yeah,
but they're clearly not on that same program.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare I met somebody that wants to win as much as I do, and it's not always about winning. It's about having fun, and I have a lot of fun. But
I had this conversation with you earlier, and it's one thing I admire about you. I love to see somebody as pissed as you get when they lose, because that means you want to win. I love that. I love that competitive aspect. Like, if I'm backing somebody, if somebody's my guy, and they go out there and they give it their all, I want them to be fucking heartbroken when they lose and ecstatic when they win. You got to be tied to this, you know? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
And you're one of the few guys I get that from. You're one of the few guys that I know damn well when you don't make finals, I'm like, oh, stay away from Justin. He's going to be a fucking asshole. But that's good, because you give a fuck. You're into this.
I do give a fuck about this sport and winning and being the best I possibly can, but sometimes after I get pissed off at a result that I have no control over, I mean, I can control when I ride shitty and when I don't, but when the judging's bad and I get pissed at that, or when it starts raining and I get pissed at that, I go back to the hotel and I calm down and I'm like, damn, I caused a scene too much, but people know that there's a fire in me. I mean...
You know who else caused a scene a lot? Dave Mira. Dave would get pissed and throw a fit, and I'm like, oh, it's because he's fucking passionate.
I remember he threw a fence.
Yeah.
I remember that.
No, but I mean, that's the people that really care, like you see that, and it's like, you're going to take the sport competitively.
I mean, yeah. Top of any sport.
You got to win, or do you got to fucking have a good time?
There's a recent video of Serena Williams
freaking out of the judge or what?
Literally yelling and cussing at I don't know what his name is. He's just the court judge, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he made a wrong call, and that proves why she's the best woman tennis player ever to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's a fire in there, and you have to have that.
Yeah. And I think when that fire goes away is a good time to hang it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So your fire is still burning after this big win.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that I tasted what it's like to win, I want to win the series next year. I think winning the world championship is obviously a big deal. And technically I'm world champion, but I still consider Marin Rantes really the true world champion because he proved it throughout a whole series.
That's the hardest thing in park riding to win. What Marin won.
Yeah, the series.
Yeah,
you have to consistently do it.
I agree. That's the hardest thing to win.
And I ended up fourth in that, to me, which is even
That's incredible. What were you last year?
I don't even know.
Not
unranked, basically.
Not top 10, yeah.
Yeah, and I maybe just got lucky this win contest. Maybe it's a formula that I created that can work every time. We're just going to have to see.
Yeah.
And I did well throughout this fees. There were some times I kind of blew it, but I got my top two were a 5th and a 7th out of fees. And that's still really good.
But you just proved to yourself you're a better rider than a 5th and a 7th place rider. Yeah. You can do better than that.
I mean, if you think about it, like the Japan fees was in April. Yeah. How many months ago was that? 6, 7 months ago?
I don't count.
Yeah, 7 months ago. That doesn't seem that long, but I've grown so much since then. Even fees Montpellier, when I missed out on finals by 1 spot, I've completely changed my riding since then and how I approach a contest. I try to come up with like my own lines, and they were slow as hell. Like the riders who keep their speed the whole time are the ones who usually win. No one wants to see somebody go slow around the course, and that's what my problem was. Is I didn't know when to go fast or go to slow. And now that I kind of created like a little system, and I'm not gonna share my like complete way to do a competition because I know Dan Dares is in the room and there's other people listening, but just come up to me in person and ask. I mean, I'm one of those people who I'll give advice to anybody. If you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. But the formula I made this year was different than I ever done before. And I don't think anyone wins the contest just winging it.
No,
everybody can say like, oh, I don't care. I'm just going to go out there and just do the run. Come up with stuff.
No, you can tell when the guys in the contest have their 3 hits. I want this box trick, this quarter trick, and this transfer or whatever. And I'm just going to figure everything else out.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like,
look at every other
cocky
sport,
approach.
like football and baseball and soccer. They all run plays. Like a certain, this person does this, this person does that. I do that in BMX. I create a run, a 60-second timed run. And I come up with my tricks and I try linking the line to them and I perfectly time it. Like I ended my world championship run as the buzzer rang. Some people finish their run with 10 seconds left and then they look like a goon the rest of the time.
Try to go find a quarter to flare.
Yeah.
Fucking low as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, so people can, think what they want about me trying to be a real athlete and a real, like, I'm putting, like, my mind into my run. It's not just, like, something that I wing.
So, are you going to the gym and shit? You're talking about being a real athlete. Like, do you do any of that?
I'm going to eventually. I improved my diet a lot this year.
Okay.
I'm not on Nick Bruce's level, but
you're not a vegan.
Yeah, which is okay. Let me rephrase that. I don't ever want to be a vegan. I'm not on Josh Perry's level, and but I definitely changed my habits this year, and I think Europe helped out a lot because Europe doesn't have a damn Taco Bell to run to 24/7. You have to eat. I feel like in Europe you have to eat in a timely manner. If you're hungry past 6 o'clock in the afternoon, you're not eating because everything's closed, and all the food there, I think, generally tastes better.
Like it's fresher.
It's fresher, and I lost, believe it or not, 30 pounds this year.
Did you really?
30. I was
Wow.
185 pounds at the World Championship 2017, and I weigh 155 now.
No shit. No strategy to do it. Just
No gym,
the life you were living.
No gym, just changing literally how you eat and how you drink. And I think drinking is underrated on getting a healthier lifestyle because soda is just as bad for you as eating bad.
Were you a soda drinker?
I drink soda and
You still do?
No, I don't.
You quit altogether?
Only water and lemonade on special occasions, but that real shit lemonade, not syrup and water. I drink real lemonade.
Like lemon and water and natural sugar type of thing?
Yeah. And honestly, like my eating got better, but not as much as it should be. All I did was cut out sodas. All I did was cut out sodas and work harder. Not gym, but work harder.
On your bike, you mean?
Yeah.
Just life, yeah.
But imagine if I go to the gym, I can even cut off more weight and gain more muscle. And I think muscle isn't, it's of course it's important in BMX, but think about the guys who have humongous arms, like they're slower on a bike.
Yeah.
Let's use Nick as an example. He's one strong guy.
Yeah.
And but he can't whip to bar as quickly as I am, or triple truck small stuff like I can.
True.
But he does bigger, higher tricks like a 3-flip no-hander.
Yeah.
But that's not my style. My style is quick tricks, quick action, trick. And so I have
fit as many tricks in one air as you can. Yeah.
I have the body type to fit that, like lean, not strong, but lean.
And you want to keep that up. You don't want to change it because that's working for you.
Yeah. Maybe eat better, of course, because I'm looking towards like a long-term thing. Like later in my life, I don't want to have like a heart condition or something because it runs in my family to have a heart condition. So
shout out to Cigarettes Greg.
Shout out Cigarettes Greg and Cigarettes Grandpa. But yeah, it's still progressively getting better.
Do you feel a lot better in everyday life?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you notice just in your, not even on your bike? What do you notice? Like more energy, more well rested? What do you notice after?
More well rested. I wake up a lot earlier. I wake up around 8 or 9 in the morning
You
nowadays.
used to fucking sleep all day.
Yeah. Daniel used to host 11 o'clock sessions at the skate park, and I would come there looking like a zombie because I maybe get 5 hours of sleep.
Up late doing nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also important, changing your sleeping schedules. And, man, I just feel better in everyday life. Like, more positive, definitely.
Yeah.
Way more positive. Because when you feel bad, you look bad, you ride shit, your attitude, of course, isn't going to be good.
Yeah.
And when you fix all that and you create this remedy to make yourself feel better, you have a more positive attitude. And that's my biggest thing is 2017, people hated how like negative I was, I guess. I mean, I heard it all the time. And then 2018, like I would go out of my way to talk to people and be more positive and tell people how great they're riding. And that's my biggest change, I think.
But actually mean it. You're actually interpreting it differently.
Yeah, of course I mean it. I always did, but I would be like one of those people who always said the negative things about the skate park and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's getting a lot better. But that just comes with maturing. I mean, I haven't been in this huge competition scene for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I remember at the Vans event in Malaga this year, you pissed everybody off.
Did I?
Well, I missed your riding. I assumed you rode good, but you didn't make it in, and I assume you were judged poorly.
I don't want to get too involved with this.
Well, no, I don't want to get in too deep, but I'm just curious what...
These people are important in BMX, and it doesn't change my opinion on them personally. Maybe I overdid it with the whole posting on my story thing.
I didn't even see what you did. Someone was just telling me. Multiple people were like, what the fuck is Justin doing?
So basically, I went there. I already had in my mind that this isn't my type of competition.
Yeah.
And I think I just got so used to us. At fees, there's literally like a template of how you're supposed to do your run.
Yes.
And in the Vans competitions, it's like a damn free-for-all. Like anybody has their own original style, and there's no template to judging. They just kind of go on overall impression.
Yeah.
And I think doing all these serious competitions all year, I went to the Vans comp where everyone there is different than I am. Everyone there is just like a rad bull rider. And there was people talking shit to me during like the practice, like go back to your park competitions. And I'm not even lying. Like,
who was saying that?
Just some old head straight cable guys. Like, swear to God, like they're like, go do your tail spinner somewhere else and stuff like this. And I wasn't trying to let it ruin my mood. And I'm like, all right, I'll just have to prove it during the contest that I can ride this bull. And I went out there, and I personally think I did a pretty decent run. I don't deserve to win by far, but they stuck me in 31st place after qualifying. I didn't even make it past qualifying, and that literally blew my mind because I still have my run saved, and it absolutely does not deserve 31st place. There's people who beat me who did a can over the box jump, the little concrete box jump.
Yeah.
And I did 450 tail up right into a 450 bar spin. I mean, maybe it's not the style of the Vans comp, but it doesn't deserve a 31st place.
Regardless of the style, better riding is better riding.
I think so.
And I understand if it comes down to the finals and you're not as high and you might be doing more tricks, but you're not as high. I can totally understand a high 450 doing better than a 450 whip or whatever.
Yeah.
A high steezy 450 beating a low 450 whip. But when it's that far back and it's just like
insane, when
it's just, no, you're riding better than this guy. It doesn't matter. Like you could, even if you weren't doing the tricks, you're more comfortable on your bike. You're riding the course better. I like those events. I think those events are cool. And I think they showcase a really important quality style of BMX riding. But I've seen that as well. In Australia this past year, Andy Buckworth was riding the open class, and it's certainly not Buckworth's style event.
No,
but I'm trying to remember what he did. I remember because I had some highlights where he would do like 3 the spine, then flare the quarter, then 3 the spine, but like good dip 3s, and he foo-fanooed this fence. Like he did some shit. He was like 35th or 36th.
Yeah,
and there were guys that beat him that were like not good bike riders. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they were good bike riders, but as far as at a pro level competition, it was like they didn't do anything that was as impressive as foo-fanooing the fence that he did, you know? And that's just one example, but it's just, I have some issues with that judging. I certainly do. I didn't see your run. I didn't see what happened, but knowing your level of riding, if you're like, I got 31st and I'm bummed, I'm probably going to side with you here.
Yeah, and I think it stems more back than just...
I don't see any way, shape, or form that you could ever beat Chase Hawk or Corey Walsh at that park.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting to.
But I would imagine that there are not 30 people that did better than you there.
Yeah, and the part that really made me bummed and made me post something on my story, which I still don't know if I regret or not, because there was a lot of people who thanked me for the words I said, like, this needed to be said. All I was basically saying was about the favoritism in BMX, and it's still here. And I thought once these UCI events came in, and the UCI events to me are completely fair, and freaking Jim Bob from West Virginia can show up, and if he rides well from when the time starts to when the time ends, he's making the finals. That's fair. But if I show up to a contest knowing that I'm not part of their family and I know I'm going to get judged bad, I think that's wrong, and I had to say something about it. And it might have pissed off some people, but I'll be the bad guy. I'm willing to be the bad guy. I don't support favoritism in BMX in any way. I felt like an outcast from the second I got there.
Yeah.
And like I said, like people were talking shit to me because I have a bike. The type of bike I have, it shouldn't be about that. It should be about what I do from when the time starts to when the time ends.
That's just fucking lame, because that's the type of stuff that people that didn't go to UCI events would say about UCI events. Yeah. Fucking jocks would, talking shit about my straight cable when I go there, and it's like, no man, everybody's chill.
I've never heard anybody talk shit about the Vans competition at a UCI event. I heard a lot of UCI talk shit talking at a Vans event though.
Yeah.
And like I said, those guys to me are still legends. Like Dakota Roach is one of the greats at street riding. It's nothing personal against him or any of the Joe Rich or any of the other judges. It's just about the favoritism. That's what made me mad. And all the Vans riders who went to that event got like free boat rides, free hotels, all this stuff. And so,
hey, you can go fuck yourself. I was on that boat ride and in the hotel, so
yeah, but at a contest, is that really fair? That they get those things and they get the free flights there?
It's a sponsorship.
Yeah, well, then is it fair if they get judged higher?
No, that's not fair, but I think any of the external stuff is fine.
That's when I go to a contest, it's the judging, of course, is the most important thing. And when that's has favoritism to it, that bums me out a lot. And I tried holding my tongue about it, and I tried so hard, but
Well, regardless of how you feel, I think it's important to express it, and we have that ability, and we have that freedom of speech within the world to where I would much prefer somebody speak out and disagree with me and piss me off than feel that way and bottle it up and not say anything.
I can't tell you a number of people I've talked to in like a private conversation who feels the same way about it than I do.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be that guy that shows it to the world, that shows the truth to the world. And the amount of support I got was insane.
Yeah.
Like I had over 200 messages thanking me for the post I did. And I mean, I might have went too far. Who knows?
What do you remember what you said exactly? I don't even know what you said.
It was just about like, this is a favoritism contest. And I put like the examples of when people were talking shit about me and how much of the favoritism the Vans riders got over anyone else and stuff like that.
You know Chase Hawk won. He's not on Vans, right?
Yeah, but he won the year before and...
He also wasn't on Vans the year before.
Yeah, but did his run really deserve to win?
Maybe. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Who should have won? I don't know. Chase Hawk rides that park good as fuck.
He does.
Rides that park good as fuck.
He does, but if the judges have in their mind that he's going to win before the contest even start, it's not fair.
But what makes you think they had that in their head? You can't prove that.
Okay, let's just move on.
No, I mean, do you actually think they did?
I had a specific example on my story when I posted the stuff about the Vans contest. I heard one of the judges say, blah, blah, blah is going to win the contest. I don't care what happens. That's exactly what one of the judges said. And I was like, really? Really? He just said that? I heard it. I was right under the judges' stand. I heard one of them.
And that was about Chase who won?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They like, Chase is going to win before the contest even started.
Well, at least they're not liars.
Yeah, he did win, didn't he?
But no, I think a really good part about BMX, though, is like you said, those events aren't for you, and there are events for you, and there are riders those events are for. You know what I mean? There's no shortage of events that, if you're not happy at that event, it's great that you have options.
I still think it's a rad event to watch. Those guys go high and blast, and they ride insane, and I can appreciate their style of riding, but I don't want to get involved in being a competitor at one.
And anymore. I appreciate your competitive nature because your work ethic and riding ability and where you're at, you don't want to go to an event and do that. You don't want to go get 31st. You know, and if you don't feel you can do better than that, the event's not for you.
I'll still watch the event. I'll watch the highlights. I'll watch the live stream because it's their type of event. I'm just going to stay out of it. I just had to try it one time.
Yeah.
And wasn't my cup of tea. So I'm just going to move on from it.
Yeah. That's fair. I think it's good that you went and tried it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I really had a rad time until the results, until I saw how the contest started. Like, Malaga was a beautiful city. The park was amazing.
That park is amazing.
And seeing all these flow stylish riders was, I mean, insane. How high they go and how good they make BMX look is something.
Watching a dude like Sergio Leos ride that park that kind of has like some local lines there and stuff is just
it's amazing.
Unreal, yeah.
It's amazing, but I'm just going to stay out of the competitive nature of it. Yeah. I think I'm a different type of competitor than they are, and it's not necessarily wrong. The only thing I pointed out was the favoritism. I never said anything bad about the riders or the judges personally.
Yeah.
Just it's been like this for years, and if I'm the guy who comes out and says it, then I'll be the guy, but I'm trying to do it for the people who are too scared to say their opinion.
Yeah. What we can move on from this.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you talked about it because I didn't fully know what was going on. What are some of these new tricks you're working on? I know you always have a shitload of new stuff, like resi-ish stuff and whatnot. You're doing flare whips, the turn downs and shit. That happened?
Yeah, flare whip look back on resi.
Flare whip on resi, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, that one's I'm still holding it back. Sometimes I don't even do flare whips in competition.
Yeah, why not?
I just feel like I want to do something different. So there's 800 million guys doing the flare whip at the contest, and if I can change that for a flare look back, I mean, it's different. It might not score the same, but I want to just be different. So unless I could do the flare whip look back, I'm not just going to do a flare whip. So I'm going to get the flare whip look back perfectly, and then I'll bring it to the competition.
When you were doing it on the resi, were you able to click the look back like it was proper?
A few of them. I would have my foot on the crank arm, So unless you catch perfect pedals, you're not doing the look back. And that's the hard part, because when you're doing a flare whip, you're not like, oh, let me just casually catch the pedals. No, you're just trying to land the trick.
Yeah, you can land crank arm, move back to pedals, and move on to your run.
I pull the flare, do the tail whip, and when I hear my feet click on the pedals, then I crank a look back. But if my foot lands on the crank arm, I do like this half-assed look back, and I'm not trying to do that at the competition.
Are you already too committed to where you can't just do a flare whip?
You can, but
it looks...
sometimes you can force a decent look back with your foot on the crank arm, but most of the time it looks horrible.
Yeah. The look back's the type of trick where it's like it's a dangerous trick to do, because if you do it bad, it looks better than doing it looks worse than doing nothing. Yeah. You know? I
actually did that in the World Championship on a 3-whip look back. I usually have that trick pretty good, but I was doing it on a transfer and not my best look back, so I want to kind of delete that one from the highlights video.
That was a bad one.
It was horrible.
The one thing that might be your saving grace in that is that Ben Wallace, who is like the king of look backs, did a really bad 3 look back to down whip in his run. So at least you're in good company when it comes to not clicking look backs in that final.
Yeah, Ben's the go at look back tricks,
especially in 3s.
Yeah,
you do a pretty good 3 look back. Can you do 3 turn downs and stuff? Do you spin opposite at all? Why don't you ever do those?
It takes I usually do my oppo spins on a box rhythm, because since I'm goofy footed, if I do an oppo 3, most of the time the judges think normal 3.
Yeah.
So in order for me to do an oppo 3, I have to do a regular one before.
First, yeah.
I have on one of my Instagram videos, I did a 360 tail up to look back, and then opposite 360, opposite bar spin to turn down on the next jump.
You do them both good?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good.
Don't do pretty good, man. If you're doing fucking turn downs, you got to do them really good.
All right, it was really good.
Was it actually really good?
I mean, you can go to my Instagram at Justin_BMX and check it out.
I don't follow you. Why would I follow you?
Yeah, no one does.
How many followers do you have now?
13.2.
Man, that's you should have more than that. You post some pretty crazy shit.
You know, I don't post enough, but when I do, I think it's pretty hardcore clips, and that's kind of that's how I like to post, I guess. I mean, it's my Instagram. I can post whatever I want, but
within reason. They have guidelines. You can't post cock photos.
I mean, you can, but you'll get a strike, which is not good.
Yeah, true.
You tried it, right?
No, but I have some friends that did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good for them. But I see people post like a quick tuck air, and I'm like, I could never do that. I could never post just like a. And I tried before just posting some.
Post for the sake of posting.
Yeah, and I feel like when you wait, I mean, I could post more. I could agree. I post like once every couple weeks. I want to do like once a week or twice a week.
Nah, you got to do a couple times a week.
Yeah, I'm trying, but I'm not really doing anything at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, you have such a backlog of footage and good stuff you've filmed. Even if you have to rehash some of it, not even so much that I want to see you doing this. I mean, just for the sake of you as a professional athlete that has a limited window to make money in this sport. Social media is a big part of that, and you need to be active in that.
Yeah, I think my stuff is more like exclusive when I don't post as much and when I post good stuff. Like I get the same amount of views and likes as people who have 5 times the followers as me, because they post so much that people forget to like their stuff. If you post too much, people get bored of it.
Well, there's the algorithm and all that bullshit too, that if you're oversaturating, they're going to bury you. Mm-hmm. But, there's a happy medium. You got to post more than once a week.
I'm trying to reach the happy medium.
People want to, and it doesn't have to be crazy clips too. People want to see your bike.
Yeah.
People want to see, there's plenty of photos of you clicking look backs. Like you said the other day that we always shoot look back photos. Yeah. I probably got 50 look back photos of you.
I did travel a lot this year and I had a good opportunity to post that, but most of the time I travel alone.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get photos and videos when you're always alone.
That's
Sometimes
true.
I would ride Spot of Talent alone. Sometimes, every time I am on a plane, I'm alone. I did not travel with one person this year. So how am I supposed to get, that typical airplane shot of me in my seat? I can't, because I have no one to travel with.
Nobody wants to see the airplane shot.
I think the airplane shot's pretty cool.
No, because you're sitting in the back like a sucker.
I bought first class one time and my airline went bankrupt.
What? What airline was that?
Shout out to the people at Premier Air for screwing me.
Premier Air?
Premier Air.
That doesn't even sound like a real airline. Was this a fake airline? It's based in Zimbabwe by the prince?
It's fake now. Let's put it that way. It was real it was real when I bought the flight, but when I went to go get on it, they're like, nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Where was the flight to? From where to where?
It was from London to DC. I was about to board the plane, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, but Premier Air's bankrupt." We're like,
How much was your ticket?
Man, it was like a $700 ticket, and I had bought the $150 first class upgrade.
That's got to be some bullshit first class. If that's what it costs.
It wasn't first class. It was
Premium economy.
No, it was. They didn't even have a first class on this plane. That's how broke as hell they were.
Premier Air.
But it was better than economy. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
And I was excited as hell. I was like, yeah, about to look at the bitches in the economy. Nope. Flight went bankrupt. Lost.
So did you get your money refunded or no?
How are you supposed to get your money refunded when the company has no money?
I don't know.
Yeah, so I called them, no answer. Emailed them, no answer. I looked on like Reddit posts, and everybody who bought a ticket from Premier lost their money. Every single person.
Wow.
No one made money back. And then not only did I lose that ticket, but I had to buy another one for the day after. And buying flights for the day after is also expensive. Basically, I lost like nearly $2,000 in one day.
Did you make decent money this past year competing as much as you did?
Yeah. I made more money this year than I have in my whole life combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not as poor as you used to be?
Nope. No longer.
Not a burden on your family?
No longer poor, I think.
You're still probably pretty poor, right?
Decent.
World champion and also poor?
Well, still waiting for that money.
How much was that? 10 grand?
Yeah.
That's a nice day at work.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
10,000 euros?
Yeah.
You get some bonuses on that, right?
Yeah, bonuses from USA.
Yeah.
Cycling.
That's probably another 5 or 6 grand, right?
Another, good amount. Just put it that way.
That's all public. The USA, that's not secret. You can Google that shit.
Okay, I made like 11,000 in bonuses.
Nice. Right on. That's awesome. So, like a $20,000 day.
Yeah.
And you've probably never had a $20,000 year in your life before.
No, but I made like let me put a little bit of thought to this. I haven't came up with like an official amount yet, but to be 18 I made like 45 this year.
That's awesome.
Which is insane to me.
Yeah.
I mean that I didn't have to. At no point during this entire year I was worried I was going to run out of money.
Yeah.
Which was, that's great.
So do you have a lot of money in the bank right now? You're chilling? Or do you spend it all on dumb shit?
I bought some dumb shit, but what do you expect when I go from making no money to a good amount? I
expect responsibility, Justin.
Well, you expected wrong. I saved a little bit, but I kind of went spending happy this year and bought a bunch of dumb shit. Like I have 2 Gucci watches.
How much is a Gucci watch?
$1,000 a piece.
So it's a cheap ass watch.
Yeah, well, it's Gucci.
You're sitting in a room with 2 gentlemen that have spent way more than that on watches. So
yeah, well, you guys have been making money for a while. This is my first year.
No, we're both very poor, actually.
Yeah, he does own a skate park over there, Daniel.
Yeah, he's very sad about it
Yeah,
too.
I know. Please go there and help him out. He needs it.
Come for the session, you'll throw in the Rolex.
Yep. He no longer has the photo booth, which is upsetting. But anyways, I wasn't too responsible because it was my first year making this much money. So hopefully next year I can save it a lot better, which is another goal of mine.
Be less of a dickhead.
Yeah. Just like I restarted from 2017 to 2018, I'm also doing another flush of all the stuff all the pointless stuff. So 2019, I'm going to have like a better bank. I'm going to have some frequent flyer cards. I'm going to be more responsible, basically.
That's cool, man. I'm probably going to be less responsible next year.
That's okay.
Life is hard.
It's okay.
Actually, before we wrap things up here, we have to have a quick discussion about Ryan Dowell. Who is Ryan Dowell?
My brother.
I feel like Ryan Dowell's your brother, but he also does everything for you.
Brother/manager. He finds the flights. He builds the bikes.
So basically, everything you're too irresponsible to do, he has to clean up for you?
Yeah. Yeah, my hub actually broke today, and he fixed it in like 5 seconds, even though I would have been staring at it for an hour.
Would you have been able to be where you're at right now without Ryan?
No, or my family in general. but specifically Ryan because he's also a rider.
Yeah.
It's good to have someone who is familiar with BMX, injuries and BMX problems and stuff like that. Like my parents can, of course, be supportive of me, and they helped me out with traveling a lot when it first happened, but Ryan understands the BMX industry.
Yeah. Kind of good to have that at home.
Yeah. So he's a manager who understands BMX better than...
Is he the type of manager that you don't pay?
Yeah.
I figured.
Well, I purchase his food.
Wow.
I think it's a fair trade.
Does he only eat foie gras and fillets? Like, how does this work?
No, he only eats Chick-fil-A and Chipotle.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. I think Chick-fil-A is like a 5-star fast food place, if you ask me.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be past that. The new Justin doesn't like fast food anymore.
Well, I just send him the money to buy the Chick-fil-A when I'm away.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Are you going to try hard and do this Olympic thing in 2020?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, you always got to have a goal to keep yourself going, I think. So my goal for 2018 was to win something. And I won Barcelona Extreme, NAS, and World Championship.
Yeah.
So I got that goal out of the way. So the next goal is to get to the Olympics.
Yeah.
And then once I get the guarantee that I'm going, then maybe my goal could be to get a medal.
Get a silver medal.
But first, I just got to get there.
Yeah.
So the deadline is from January 1st, 2019 to May 2020 is the deadline. And you gather points.
It already started. Started like November 1st.
No, the country's points started, not the individual points.
What do you mean individual points? I don't know what you're talking about here.
January to May is when you gather points for which rider goes specifically. But from November...
Is that a USA Cycling thing? Because the countries can send whoever they want.
It could be. This is just the information I got. It's that the rider selection hasn't started yet. Only thing that started yet was which country is dominant. So only right now we're getting country points. We're not getting individual points.
Well, that's because the countries can send whoever they want. So if USA Cycling wanted to build a system where you get points to decide who they send.
It might be a USA Cycling thing only. I'm not sure. This is just what I was told.
Yeah, they could have lied to you also.
Because I asked, like, hey, does China count towards who's going? And they said no. Only which country gets 2.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, I think we might both be saying the same thing here, and it's just a lot of words.
Okay, well.
But either way, you should do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
And if you do that, you can't let your country down.
Never. Greatest country in the world.
Goddamn right it is. It's a beautiful thing. Justin, wrapping up, who is your favorite rider ever of all time?
I don't know.
But you have to know.
Definitely Ryan Gutler.
Yeah? You're laughing. I don't know if that's accurate.
Or Nigel Sylvester.
Okay.
Yep, those are my top 2.
What if you had to pick just one?
Daniel Dares.
I feel like you didn't mean any of those.
I mean, I'll let them decide who my favorite rider is based on my style. Which one of those 3 impacts my life the most, do you think?
I mean, riding wise,
definitely Nigel.
I don't think you're much like Nigel at all.
I think I ride just like Nigel.
Gucci watches?
Mm-hmm. Overpriced luxury brand shit.
Hey, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Well, I feel like that was a bullshit answer.
Okay, real favorite rider of all time, probably Kyle Baldock.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
I still think today, even though... And Kyle's my man. I talk to him at every event, and we get along well. But he's not doing as well at contests as he used to. Let's just put it that way. But personally, I still think he's one of the best riders on the planet.
He's such a dark horse because he's going to these events and not doing super well, but he is still capable of winning. Like if he went and won the world championship, it wouldn't have been out of nowhere.
He's one of those people who doesn't do too well at the FIS events, But he still has the ultimate respect from everyone because they know what he's capable of.
He's a bad motherfucker.
He's one of the best, for sure. Has been since he made his debut in the pro contests. And he's seriously not that old either. He's still kind of young.
Yeah, under 30.
Yeah. I mean, he's not Daniel Dare's old, for sure. So
Yeah. And Daniel Dare isn't Ryan Nyquist old.
no. Ryan Nyquist isn't Dennis McCoy old.
That's a good point. Dennis McCoy isn't Cigarettes Greg old.
Dennis McCoy's older.
Than Cigarettes Greg?
Yeah.
How old's Cigarettes Greg?
47.
How many heart attacks has he had?
2.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. I hope his heart lasts forever.
Well, officially 2, but we estimate 4.
All right. I think on that note, we can call it a day. Shout out Cigarettes Greg. A true hero. Is he still smoking cigarettes?
He got better.
Do you ever smoke cigarettes?
No.
Never have in your life?
Never.
You ever get drunk?
Nope.
You're allowed to. I mean, you live in Europe half the time.
Maybe a few times.
Is it something you enjoy or no?
I didn't enjoy it.
No.
I basically died, resurrected, did it again, died, resurrected. Did that a couple times and was like, I'm going to hang this up.
I'll just go win the world championship.
Yeah.
Instead of drinking, I like winning shit.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan to me.
All right, Justin, final thought. Tell us what you're thinking.
I'm thinking about you. I'm looking in your eyes right now.
What do you think? They're hazel.
They're beautiful.
Thank you very
think you're
much.
a handsome man.
All right, Justin, you're a good guy too. Congratulations on winning that. And I owe you $40 for a bet that we're not going to talk about on here.
I honestly think Rim deserves the $40 though.
Shout out to Rim.
Shout out to Rim, my man.
Rim Nakamura, Cigarettes Greg, Nigel Sylvester. Who else?
Ryan Gutler.
Ryan Gutler. Shout out to those guys. Thanks, Justin. You're a wonderful man.
All right. Thanks for having me on this podcast, the greatest one in the universe.
Yeah, it might be the second greatest, but, thank you.
All right.
All right, that does it for this week. Big thank you to the world champion for stopping by. Be sure to follow him on Instagram at JustinDowell_BMX. And until next week, I'm going to try to beat this cold, get back to San Diego, and drink some proper West Coast beverages. And you just need to remember that it doesn't count if you don't pull the rollback. See ya.